stop scrolling and look at this right here. Really look at it. This isn't a scene from Dune. It isn't a render from a sci-fi movie. This is Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and what you're looking at is essentially a $50 billion box. But calling this a building is an insult. It's a monster. The dimensions are terrifyingly perfect. 400 meters long, 400 meters wide, 400 meters high. To put that into perspective for you, you could take 20 Empire State Buildings, stack them inside, and you'd still have room to fly a helicopter around. It's called the Mukaab. It is the single largest built structure in human history. But here's the question nobody's asking. Why? Why build a giant golden cube in the middle of the desert? Why pour concrete into a shape that physics absolutely hates? Most people think this is just a vanity project for a wealthy prince. They're wrong. This isn't about ego. This is about panic. Saudi Arabia is running out of time, and this cube is their desperate $50 billion gamble to survive the post-oil world. Let's open the box. Here's the harsh reality. For decades, money flowed out of the ground. You drilled a hole, you got rich. Simple. But the world is changing. Electric vehicles, green energy. The oil tap is slowly tightening. Saudi Arabia looked at their neighbor Dubai and saw a problem. Dubai is the playground of the world. Riyadh was just a place for business. So the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, decided to flip the table. He launched Vision 2030. The Mukaab is the centerpiece of something called the new Murabba. This isn't just a building, it's a new downtown. They're planning to build 100,000 homes, 9,000 hotel rooms, and enough office space to rival Manhattan. But to sell this vision, they needed an icon. The Burj Khalifa is tall, the Eiffel Tower is pointy. Saudi Arabia needed something else. They needed volume. And that's the genius and the madness of the cube. Skyscrapers are inefficient. You spend half your money building elevator shafts just to go up. But a cube maximizes internal volume. It gives you the one thing money usually can't buy: an entire world indoors. Now, let's talk about engineering, because from a physics standpoint, this thing is a nightmare. Architects usually hate flat surfaces on tall buildings. Why? Because of the vortex shedding effect. When wind hits a flat wall that's 400 meters wide, it doesn't flow around it, it pushes hard. The structural load on the Mukaab's exterior is going to be astronomical. Engineers aren't just building a wall, they're building a dam against the sky. But wait, it gets crazier. The Mukaab is hollow. Inside the shell is a spiraling tower. This is where the hotels and apartments actually are. But look at the space between the shell and the tower. It's empty. Or is it? This is the killer feature. The entire interior surface of the Mukaab is lined with holographic technology and massive LED screens. This is immersive world building. One minute you're dining on Mars, the next you're in the floating mountains of Pandora. You know the Las Vegas Sphere, that viral screen that cost $2 billion. The Mukaab creates an immersive environment that makes the Vegas Sphere look like a generic watch. But here's the logistical headache. How do you repair a screen that's 400 meters in the air? How do you cool a digital system that generates enough heat to boil a lake? And let's not forget the logistics. They have to move millions of tons of steel and concrete into the center of a busy capital city. It's like trying to perform open-heart surgery while the patient is running a marathon. If supply chains break, and they always do, this $50 billion price tag could double overnight. So, who's paying for this party? You're looking at the Public Investment Fund, or PIF. This is Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund. They manage over $700 billion in assets. But here's the catch. The Mukaab is just one project. They're also building the Line, Neom, and the Red Sea project. Experts estimate the total cost of these giga-projects could exceed $1 trillion. That's a burn rate that makes Elon Musk look frugal. And history is not on their side. Remember the Jeddah Tower? It was supposed to be the world's first kilometer-high building. Construction started in 2013. Then oil prices crashed, corruption purges happened. Today, it's a concrete stump in the desert. The Mukaab faces the same risks. If oil prices dip below $70 a barrel, the money stops, and the cube becomes the world's biggest ruin. But this time, the pressure is different. Saudi Arabia has won the bid for the World Expo 2030. They're hosting the World Cup in 2034. The world is coming to Riyadh. They cannot have a half-finished construction site greeting the global elite. The Mukaab is a statement. It says that the Middle East is no longer just a gas station. It is a destination. It is bold. It is arrogant. And frankly, it's magnificent. So here's the final question. In 2030, will we see the eighth wonder of the world or the world's most expensive tomb? I want to know your bet. Is this genius or insanity? Let me know in the comments below. We investigate the money and the machines behind the world's biggest projects. If you want to understand how the world is actually built, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe. This is the Master Plan.